From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Well, happy Monday morning to you all. It is a start of a new work week. I know some schools I think are going to be starting up here for today, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of getting to that time of the year where, you know, the school vacations are done with. We're getting ready to start some school. We're ready to get ourselves ready for a work week. And you know, here's what we've got in store for us as we take a look at what's going on here. Number one, it's going to be cool and unsettled this week. I don't expect a ton of rain. I don't expect a ton of snow, at least over some of the lower elevation communities. I mean, snow levels will be low, but you have to go up, say, 4,000 or 5,000 feet before you start seeing anything significant in the way of snow this week. But we're also going to be looking at breezy and windy conditions at times as these systems pass on through. All right, so for today, in the valley, we do have the partly to mostly cloudy skies out there today. It's not going to be a wet day. I don't anticipate any rainfall. Siskiyou County, there are a few morning flurries out there, but overall should be a drier day by the afternoon. And I do expect some of those morning flurries as well. I mean, it's starting to get cold where, you know, my map here has a hard time keeping up with it. But you can see here those temperatures eventually reaching somewhere in the mid to even some upper 30s. Now, we take a look at the north coast, and there you can see it looks like, again, maybe a few showers here and there early this morning. Otherwise, it's dry. Inland should be dry as well. And then, you know, it is showing a few showers there. Those chances are very, very slim, and I wouldn't count on it. Taking a look at Trinity County, it does look like it's going to be just partly to mostly cloudy skies there as well. And of course, on the cool side. So what we have here is this ridge of high pressure, but on the kind of the front side of it here, we're seeing those clouds kind of spill over, and that's what's producing some of the snow that we have seen. It's very light off in Siskiyou County this morning. This is all going to be shifting eastward here. So what we've got here are a series of systems coming through. You can see this one coming through sometime around Tuesday, Wednesday. So what's going to happen is you're going to have high pressure to our south and west, low pressure to our north and east. And you see how we have these tightly packed, these white lines that we call isobars. When you pack them a little bit tighter together, we have upper level support for some gusty winds at times for many of us on Tuesday. Then that kind of dives down to the south, and you still have those isobars pretty tightly packed. So Wednesday, Thursday, often on breezy, borderline windy conditions out there. Now, we're starting to see the potential for some colder air to kind of cool down. Now the latest models are keeping that coldest air to the north. And there have been a lot of people asking the question, will we see snow in the valley this week? At this point, I'm going to say no. Will we see it this upcoming weekend? At this point, I'm going to say no. There are some models that want to bring in some of that snow, but for now, I don't see a lot of support for it. But there you can see as we go into noon today, still a few flurries left over in eastern parts of Modoc County, but you can see for the most part, things are starting to dry out and clear out as well. But then we have the next disturbance coming through. Snow levels between 2,000 and 3,000 feet. Just some light showers here for the valley in the morning, but watch what happens as we go to the noon hour. It's starting to break apart and dry out. There are a few showers here off to the north and west, and you can see here as we take you into Tuesday evening, again, just an isolated snow flurry here and there, but for the most part, things are fairly dry on your Tuesday. Wednesday, another system coming on through. This one looks to be a little bit colder, but there you can see some heavy snow at times, especially in Siskiyou and parts of Modoc County. But once again, you head to the south, we're just not seeing as much. Of course, looks like some heavy rainfall for parts of the coast here for a brief period of time. But as we go into around the noon hour on Wednesday, you see the bulk of the activity down to the south and east. And again, just like what we're going to see on Tuesday, there's just not a lot of activity off to the north and to the west. So we look at the forecast rain totals through at least Wednesday, and there you can see it's not a lot of rain in the valley. You're talking about a tenth, maybe 2/10 of an inch of rainfall at most in some areas. And again, we're seeing some of the heavier rainfall along the coast, so that looks pretty good there. But even with that snow we have in the forecast, Typical footprint again. We're just not seeing much in the way of overall water content. Now, the winter alerts. There's a winter storm warning from 1 a.m. Tuesday to 4 p.m. Wednesday for Siskiyou and Modoc County. You saw that on Futurecast here, indicating the heavy and even blowing snow at times, and could create some problems here when it comes to travel. The purple in Delnor County is the winter weather advisory from 6 a.m. Tuesday to 4 p.m. Wednesday, mainly above 2,000 feet. You can see off into Trinity County, mainly above 2,500 feet, but snow levels on average are between 2,000 and 3,000 feet there. Now, off into the eastern mountains here, there's a winter storm watch here for tomorrow evening through Wednesday night, mainly above 4,000 feet, but also looking at snow levels between 2,000 and 3,000. So this is what I was talking about. You have to probably go above 4,000 feet before you start seeing any significant snow, and that's when you start running into problems. So we look at the forecast snow totals, and there you can see through 5 p.m. Wednesday, I think we could pick up a few more inches out in Mount Shasta City, maybe a little bit of snow out towards Weaverville and Hayfork, Bernie, Chester. Again, you see how we're just not seeing a ton of snow out of this? But as you start going above 4,000 or 5,000 feet, that's when it starts getting more significant. Now again, I want to mention the winds because I mentioned them a little bit earlier. We take a look at Futurecast, and you can see the greens, yellows, and oranges. That's where we've got to watch the potential for some of those gusty winds. And you'll see, especially over the higher mountain ridges, we are seeing that potential for some gusty winds off and on over the next several days. All right, let's take a look at your long-range forecast model. And there you can see Thursday looking fairly dry. We take you into Friday looking fairly dry. However, the European forecast model does still have a chance for showers in there Thursday, Friday, especially for the mountains. So I'm keeping that slight chance in there, but really for the most part, the end of the week is looking fairly dry. Here's the next storm coming in. Now, this model was indicating that on Saturday, the valley could see snow. Again, we're talking about this upcoming Saturday. Now the latest model data is keeping that snow level higher, indicating we won't see snow in the valley. So again, you see what we're seeing here. When you start looking way out like this, when you start looking out 5, 6, 7 days, you have to take that snow forecast with a grain of salt, because I know a lot of apps out there have been indicating, even as early as Wednesday of this week, the potential for snow in Redding. I don't see it happening at this point. Now there's Sunday. This upcoming Sunday looks fairly dry again, and that'll probably be the case as we take you on into your Monday as well. Precipitation outlook, I mean, yes, the light green indicates, yeah, we have a slight chance of seeing above normal rainfall, but what this is indicating is that, yes, the cool and unsettled weather pattern will stick around. There's the cooler than normal temperatures here in the long range. Now the wave heights aren't that much of a concern today, but by tomorrow, as that next storm pushes on through, some fairly high wave heights, especially out to sea here. Could see over 20 feet there. Now, looking at your marine forecast, we've got those south winds at 10 to 15 knots, waves from the northwest at 8 feet at 13 seconds, and there is that possibility for some of those showers out there. All right, here's a look at your Trinity County neighborhood by neighborhood forecast. There you can see I've got snow levels. So on Tuesday, they're going to be around 3,000 feet. Okay, and then on Wednesday, 2,000 feet, and then the chances here will be around 2,000 feet, and then maybe 1,000 feet on Saturday. But again, I think that might be a little low. There you can see your North Coast forecast. We're looking at those temperatures in the 50s here, off and on chances for rain pretty much all week long, but fairly dry for the most part for your Thursday and Friday. Temperatures in the low 50s, low to mid 50s along the coast here, a little bit cooler inland in the upper 40s there. Here's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Again, we've got that chance for showers in there for Thursday and Friday. I've got it down to 1,000 feet. That may change. I think it may be closer to, say, 2,000 or even 3,000 feet. Modoc County neighborhood forecast. There you can see those temperatures quite cool today. Cedarville, you'll be lucky if you get above freezing today. 35 degrees for Canby and Calpines, and not to mention out in Alturas. In your eastern mountains neighborhood forecast, there you can see in Susanville, I've got you dry on Thursday, Friday, but we could see a little bit of activity here, especially for your Tuesday and Wednesday, and then once again on Saturday. Let's take you out to your Valley neighborhood forecast, brought to you by Haas Farms. There you can see those temperatures upper 40s to around 50 degrees. It's coolish out there, right? I mean, we're going to be hovering around that 50-degree mark here all week long, not to mention even this weekend. Showers mainly in the morning. I think the afternoon hours on Tuesday, Wednesday will start to dry out. And then there you can see on Saturday, we've got that next chance for showers. Taking you up north, There you can see, of course, those temperatures right around 50, and of course morning showers Tuesday, Wednesday, drying out Thursday, Friday with yet another shot for some showers here by Saturday of this upcoming weekend. Here's your 7-day outlook for Redding, and there you can see temperatures just kind of hovering around the upper 40s to around 50 degrees pretty much for the next 7 days.